Yo, Bo, welcome to another Black Friday. Black Friday 2023. It's getting tougher and tougher to get up early every year. This is if the clubhouse store wasn't doing 50%, I'd still be sleeping right now, to be honest. I looked online, there's like some places are doing decent deals, some places are doing, you know, okay. There's a couple things though I might partake in, but we'll see. We'll see what happens after the outing today. It's 7:13 in the morning. I got up at 6:30. The gates open at 9 at the ballpark for the clubhouse store, and they do other stuff too. They're doing like you can have a tour of the I think of the dugout and the clubhouses or whatever. They're doing something like soft pretzels and hot chocolate, and the fanatic will be there at some point, and other people will be there. But I'm basically just going for the sale. I don't need to do the other stuff because I gotta keep moving. That's what today is. So I'm not going to the mall. I'm not doing the mall for the first time ever on Black Friday because the mall was just, I don't even know, it just wasn't even worth it last year. For what I look for anyhow. A little chagrined about that. I always looked forward to going to the mall, but this year I'm just going over to the clubhouse store at Citizens Bank, and I might hit Mitchell. But the sale they're doing, I'm just not a big fan of, oh, well, if you spend a certain amount, you get a certain amount. I like that flat, give me a flat, percent off, like the clubhouse store, 50% everything. You can buy a glass, you can buy a shirt, a hat, and it'd be 50% off, Like Mitchell and Ness, and they're doing the same thing online. I kind of figured they would, because if they do it in the store, they're usually going to do it online too. But they're doing the same. If you spend a certain amount, you get, the max deal is 40, the minimum's 30. But it's like, I kind of would. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just rather those sales where it's just a flat percent off. Whatever you buy, this is you get the deal. But we'll see. We'll see. So I guess depending on how things go at the clubhouse store depends on whether I still make it over to Mitchell and Ness or not. There are a couple of things I'd like to get online, and I don't know. Hopefully we can make it work. But yeah. So I'm gonna go out in the cold right now. I'm gonna get over to the ballpark, and then I hope the line's not too long when I get there. Last year I got there a little too late, and I was already frazzled from the mall. And then waiting in that line, and then there was a line after the line to go into the where I wanted to go last year, which was where they had all the authentic stuff, because I wanted to see if they had any team issue jerseys with the World Series patch, and they didn't. And I waited from one line, waited in another line just to be told they don't have what I'm looking for. So I'm like, okay, this Black Friday sucks. And I got some stuff online, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the deals are next year. I don't know if I'm getting up next year. We'll see. To be continued. Just after 8 a.m. outside the stadium, there's a line. Doesn't seem too bad though. I'll probably get in one of the first groupings at least. So we'll see. I'm trying to grab that Dutch Dalton St. Patrick's Day Mitchell Ness jersey that dropped earlier in the year. And I believe they have it. I know I saw it in here in the past, so hoping to grab that at least. And then we'll see. We'll see what else to be continued. Right, in the parking garage now off 12th Street, heading over to Mitchell, and unsuccessful at getting the Dalton St. Pat's jersey. They didn't have it. I thought they may have still had it, but they didn't, so that was a tad disappointing. But still a good time. Had some good conversation with a couple there in line, and standing out there for a while. It actually opened at 10. I thought that it opened at 9, so I was waiting a little longer than I thought I would. But walked away with a couple of hoodies, so really good deal on those. One was actually on clearance, and you had the 50% off on top of it, so that was really nice. Then I got another nice hoodie for 50% off. So right now I'm leaving the garage, and I'm heading over to Mitchell & Ness and the flagship, and we'll see if I can grab that Dalton St. Pat's there. But the search continues on Black Friday 2023. Well, obviously, I am back home now, Black Friday 2023. As far as the outing outside and brick and mortar stores go, has finished. And I'm 0 for 2 for the I'm 0 for 2 for that St. Patrick's Day Dutch Dalton jersey. They didn't have that in my size at the store, and they didn't have it at the flagship store in Mitchell & Ness, and they didn't have it at the ballpark. So it is what it is. Wasn't able to grab that. So Mitchell & Ness, I did forget to mention when I was leaving or walking to Mitchell & Ness in the parking lot. So a couple other things from the ballpark store. They gave out these, I think they were giveaways during the season, but you either, you had your choice of a hat or the JT Realmuto bank. So I took the Realmuto bank, although it did become a little cumbersome carrying around in the clubhouse store. But I walked away with that as a free item. I guess, just a little door prize for the first however 100 many people in line. And so that was cool. And I also got to meet Ruben Amaro Jr., who was the Phillies GM after '08. So Pat Gillick was the GM, and Ruben learned under Pat. And then he was the GM, and he was responsible for bringing in like Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee and numerous other players. And Rube tried his best. I mean, they didn't win. They got to a World Series in '09. They didn't win. Obviously lost to the Yankees. They didn't win in the playoffs previous in the years to come. But overall, I thought he did a decent job as a GM, and I think he does a really good job, and I complimented him on that for what he does as he does color announcing now for certain Phillies games during the season, and he also is in the studio for the pre and post game shows for most of the season for the Phillies. And I think he does a really nice job breaking down and analyzing. Ruben was a player too. I think he was a utility man or something like that back in the day, if I remember correct. I know he was on a '93 team as a bat off the bench. And he actually complimented me because I was wearing my Gary Maddox jersey, and he said, "Oh, Gary Maddox." I said, "Yeah," and obviously Rube remembers him, so that was cool. So it was nice meeting him. He was in the store just greeting people, so that was cool. The Phillies always do a great job, I think, with those type of events. They really make you feel like important, to be there. So they do a nice job, and I'll be going tomorrow night with my buddy TJ Fan. We're going to the annual tree lighting outside the ballpark, so that's a fun event too. So but yeah, I did not walk away with a jersey. That might happen online. I know, kind of looking around, engaging online, I know Fanatics and their umbrella, NHL shop, NBA shop, NFL shop, they're all doing 30% flat, 30%. And so's Cool Hockey. And Cool Hockey doesn't do a ton of sales throughout the year, so I think I might take advantage. With the fact I wasn't able to get the Dutch Dalton, I think I'm going to take advantage of the Cool Hockey deal. And I think that runs through Cyber Monday, 30%. And it's actually a pretty decent deal, and there's a jersey I've been meaning to get on there. Who am I kidding? There's a few jerseys I've been meaning to get on there, but one in particular that I was hoping to get sooner, and I just never got to it. So now that they're doing 30%, I think I'm going to take advantage. I know they're also doing something that if you get the hand stitched option for jersey, the first however many, you get like a signed puck. You don't know who the player is. It's like a really good player. but you get a signed puck and like a greeting card. And the jersey I'm getting, I don't think I really need to get the hand stitch option for it, so I'm probably going to pass on that. And I don't know what I would do unless it's like an all timer or a great flyer from the past. I mean, I don't think they give you an option for team. I think it's just basically a surprise. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to put in for that, but still I get the 30%. So I do think I'm going to do that. And I might do something with the deal for NHL Shop only because there's a jersey that I feel if I don't get now, it's going to go, and that FOMO. So maybe we'll see. I'm kind of on the fence. I'm trying to figure what I should do or not do. The Dalton is available on Mitchell Ness's website, but at the same time, I know Mitchell Ness does so many sales that if I miss this one, there'll be another one coming along. It's like waiting at a bus stop for a bus. At this point, they do so many sales. If you miss on one, there'll be another one in a week. Particularly around the holidays, they're going to continue to do them. So I might hold off on the Dutch for right now. They had a full run size, so I'm pretty confident that whenever the time comes that I move on it will still be available in my size. I also did try on, for the first time, I tried on one of the Blue Line Collection jerseys for hockey. And it's a pretty comfortable jersey. I understand the big time hockey heads why they wouldn't like the jersey. It's totally understandable. Nothing stitched and all that stuff, with the patches and everything. I get that. But I always kind of wondered what my size would be. I know my size for the Fanatics Breakaway, and I know my size for the Authentic Adidas. I didn't know what exactly my size would be for the Blue Line, even though it's I always, when I looked at them, I always thought, okay, Fanatics, Breakaway kind of feel to them. I would imagine it's kind of the same size, but Mitchell Ness sometimes does jerseys that are more kind of fit, that I always say you got to try it on to find your right size. So now I know I'm an XL in those, and I kind of figured I would be because that's the size I wear for the Fanatics Breakaway, but I just wanted to make sure, so I tried on an XL, and it fit me really good. So I didn't walk away with one. I do have interest, as we all know, at some point to get the Nathan McKinnon Blueberry jersey. Maybe I'll get that today. Maybe that will be one of the ones I grab. We'll see. But that one, and I also... And I know people are like, oh, well, you just get the original. And I get that. And I have plenty of the original, believe me. But just because I love that logo so much, I mean the Jason Duck logo. Mitchell Ness's first Mighty Ducks jerseys at Teemu Selanne. I know since they've put out some J.S. Jaguar finals jerseys. And I might have to grab at some point one of those too. We'll see. But it's the Jason Duck. It's the first time Mitchell Ness ever made one, so I do want to kind of get a Teemu Selanne in that. I have Authentics, and I know what they are because I have them. But, having a Mitchell Ness one, I don't think would hurt. They didn't make Authentics to this point, but it's still the crest on the jersey, and like I said, it's their first time making it, so I think I'm going to pick it up at some point. I don't know when. But aside from that... those are the places I went today, and I had a really good time. I mean, there was a line, waiting outside of the clubhouse door. I was in there. I got there a little too early, but I guess it worked out because I was able to get in and get out and do what I had to do. Once I knew that the Dalton wasn't in there, I picked up a couple hoodies, and I thought they did a really good sale. I mean, 50% is pretty good, but also they had clearance items, and it was, I believe, 50% on those clearance items too, because I walked away with 2 hoodies for under $100. And those of you who knows what the price of hoodies are, I mean, real heavy hoodies, like winter hoodies, like the one I'm wearing right now is a light hoodie, which I wear this one a lot. But, I mean, heavy winter hoodies, to walk away with that kind of deal is pretty good. And I got a little magnet, too. I always have a lot of magnets on the fridge. I got another Phillies magnet as part of the deal. And at Mitchell, I didn't think I would walk away with anything once I knew they didn't have the Dalton, but I did. I just got a couple things. Let me get them out of the bag. I just kind of went heavy flyers because, they just got the NHL back, I guess, what was it? Last year, I think, around this time last year. And they've been pumping out some flyer stuff and other hockey, obviously some teams. So I picked up a Flyers palm, knit hat for the winter. And I got these. I always like this style. It's called the tail sweeper. So I got the Flyers tail sweeper there. It's a snap, but there it is. It's the first time I've seen this one, so I really like that. And then this one I thought was pretty cool. And I have a lot of the jerseys from the Bully days. So we have a little Broad Street Bullies from the 70s. And the other thing I thought was cool, it's another snap. But the other thing I thought was cool for this is the side patch. It has the, once I open this up, has the 74, 75 on the side. And I was actually, it's funny, it's ironic. I was talking to, it also has a green under too, so it has that vintage look. I was talking to someone in line on the, during outside of the ballpark, and I was telling him, the one team I wish I could have been old enough to watch play would be those Bully Flyers from the 70s, because they won back-to-back cups, but that team, I wish I could have watched them. Obviously, I wasn't born when they were in their heyday, and that's the one team I think in this town I regret not being able to have watched play. Not just because they were great, but just that style that they had. I mean, they won a lot of fights and they won a lot of games, So, but I'm glad the Flyers are starting to, turn things around and starting to be on a better, get a, they're it's gonna still take some years, but I think they're on the right track now, and it's good to see because they've been missing in action for a while. So hopefully within a few years, they'll be amongst the top of the Eastern Conference when they get that Mishka over from Russia, and Carter Gauthier hopefully is another good one. So we'll see. They have some pieces and they still have some years to go, but Briere and Jonesy, they're starting to turn things in the right direction. So hopefully it continues. So I went heavy Flyers at the at the store. I just got the 3 hats. I looked at some other stuff. The problem is mostly what's out at the flagship right now. They have a ton of Kelly Green. It's like the whole back of the store is nothing but Kelly Green Eagles, and they had some of the NFL jerseys out, but mainly it was the legacy line stuff, and they had like at the front of the store they had some, they had the Flyers, they had the Sixers and Phillies, but they really didn't have a lot of other stuff out. Now they have it. I mean, if you go there and you ask them for this jersey or what have you, they probably have it in storage. They can get it for you. But with the stuff not being out, obviously it's like, I'm trying to think, all right, what other jerseys did I have interest in? I'm like, you know what? Let me just either walk out of here with nothing or just get a couple hats or something. And as it turns out, I walked out with 3 Flyers hats. So, that was okay. So jersey-wise, I figured if I get anything, it will be online. Take advantage of the online deals for that. Because Dutch wasn't available. The St. Pat's Dutch wasn't there at both places. And it's like, okay, well, that kind of opens it up for something else then that I probably wouldn't have gotten if I picked up the Dalton. So this is all about decision-making, This is why sometimes it gets tough on a day like today, because there's sales everywhere. And you have to try to pick and choose. And all right, well, if I don't do this, all right, well, okay, I can go in this direction, And the way I feel, some of these places have sales a lot. So if I miss out on this one, there'll be others to come back to down the road. And that's fine. Even if it isn't until next year, I'm okay with that. Because, I'm still going to get something nice, something I've been wanting. So it works out. So at any rate, that is going to do it for Black Friday 2023. And I didn't do any filming inside. It was way too crowded. I thought about it. I'm like, maybe, particularly at Mitchell and Ness, the trouble at the ballpark stores, I was carrying onto the Rio Yudzo Bank, so I wouldn't have been able to film in there. And then at Mitchell and Ness, it was getting crowded, and I'm like, all right, well, I can either film in here a little bit, or I can just maybe pick up a few things and get the heck out of here. And that's what I did. Because I was getting hungry. I still have to eat. I got some food from Wawa on the way home, so I got a sandwich. So I'll eat that. And that's it, man. I got up early today, and I think it was worthwhile. I misread the timing for the ballpark. I thought it opened at 9, and it was 10. But it is what it is. I still had a good time. And, talking to people and just kind of exchanging stories. And that's what makes it fun, and that's why I like doing this. You can't do that online. You can't just go onto a website and find something and then have conversations with people waiting in line, and that's the fun of it for me. That's why I like going to the brick and mortar stores. Now, obviously, they have to have a good enough sale. Like if if the ballpark store was doing like 20 or 25%, I'm probably not going there. I'm probably not getting up early and going there. But 50%, and then if you get clearance items, it's an extra, whatever that price is, and then you get the 50% off on top. That was just really good. So that's like, okay, this is a deal that would be hard to pass. And I did want to see if they had that Dutch Dalton. I know I saw it in there. I saw that jersey in there before, but I guess it's sold out. I misread the room on how popular a jersey that. I thought for sure I'd get it at the flagship, but they didn't have it in a 52. So I was out of luck there. But again, like I said, it opens the door for something else. Can I still get it online right now on Mitchell Ness's website? Sure. But it's there in a full run size. I feel it will still be there if I wait a little bit. This opens the door for me to get something else that I've been wanting to get, So, and what that item is, you'll have to wait and see. It will be in a future vid. I'll do an unboxing when that jersey comes in from Cool Hockey. Of course, I still have to buy it. But, 30% I think is still good enough. And that's a site that they don't do sales a lot. So take advantage when they do, right? But there's sales going on all over the place. You just kind of have to look. I know hat-wise, it's anywhere between 30 and 40%. I mean, I know, I want to say Hat Club is doing a deal where it depends on how many hats you buy, depending on what kind of deal you get. But I think New Era is doing like a 30%, if I'm not mistaken. Toppers USA is 30%. 30 seems to be the big number this year for the percentage off. So there's a lot of different places doing 30%. Like I said, Fanatics, Lids, all the Fanatic umbrella places are doing 30%. So you just kind of have to look around. And so anyhow, happy hunting to all of you out there. Hope Black Friday's good to you. Hope you're able to get some deals and steals out there. There's stuff out there. You just have to look around. And that's going to do it for me. So what do you always got to do? Leave those likes, like, right? Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Make sure to hit the bell icon so you're notified to all future content from yours truly. And I will be back again very soon. Maybe do an unboxing at some point and whatever. Probably I'm guessing if I do get the jersey from Cool Hockey, I'm guessing I might not get it until early next year or very late this year. And that's the other thing you have to keep in mind. During the holidays, it's going to take a little extra time, for items to come because of the holiday rush. Everyone's getting stuff. So this is a very trying year for the Postal Service. Very time of year, I should say, for the Postal Service and for UPS and FedEx, obviously. They are just overworked, and there's a lot of delays, and you just have to deal with that. You get stuff online, there might be a little delay, you just kind of have to deal with it. The other thing that I will make mention of is you want to be careful with Fanatics and such. Before you check out, make sure that, because with the shipping, I've seen this. They have, like, when you're ready to check out, and the last step is the shipping, I think, if I remember correct, the one that's instantly checked out is the most expensive option. And I know a lot of us are like just racing just to get through it. Maybe you're tired of it. All right, I just want to pay, and all right, that's it. But be careful with that. Make sure that shipping option. For me, I don't care. Like I always pick the cheapest. It's like this 5 to 7 day delivery, whatever, $5 I think it is for that shipping. And I always make sure I click that. Because I think it's automatically set to like the overnight or the most expensive, like $30 or $40 or something even more maybe for that shipping. And that's the one that it auto defaults to. So I always have to make sure when I'm on that last step for the shipping, let me make sure I click the $5 shipping, the 5 to 7 business days. I'm okay with that. I don't need this thing tomorrow or in 2 days or something, Sometimes, though, they'll throw you a little something. Sometimes they'll give you, a deal, or it will be part of the deal. It'll be like, okay, if you spend whatever,
you get the 2-day delivery on us or something like that. So, around the holidays, they do deals like that. So you just want to keep an eye out, but do be careful. The other thing I'll say about Mitchell and Ness, what I always pick is whatever the cheapest option is. I think it's FedEx or UPS, whatever it is that they offer, or maybe it is USPS. But the one thing I always make sure I have checked off, and I've done enough on there that it automatically has that checked off. I don't have to do it. But there is an option for signature not required for delivery. And you have to be careful with that because, let's face it, a lot of us work. I work. I'm not at home, some days, right? When the mail comes. And obviously, if you miss the mail and if it's a package that you need to sign for, you get that pink note at the at the door. Your package couldn't be delivered, and then you have to either go to the post office or the FedEx location or UPS location and sign for it. And it's a hassle. So I always make sure that, and for me, whenever I buy anything from there, I guess because I already have it as the default, I have it as the cheapest shipping, I think, which is like $10, and then it has the signature not required checked off. So, but I always tell people, make sure you do that because you don't want to be in a situation where, all right, you got the cheap shipping, but you forgot to have the option to signature not required checked off because there's a signature required and a signature not required, two options on there. And that can get you, because I think the default is signature required. So if you haven't bought anything on the website, or maybe it's been a while and you just want to do the cheapest shipping, but make sure that you have the checkoff for the signature not required. Otherwise, you're going to have to sign for the package when it shows up. And that can, like I said, that can be a hassle. I know, because it's happened to me. I hate that. That's the worst thing in the world when you get that alert that your package has been delivered. Like I get text alerts with the mail, package has been delivered, and then I come home and there's the pink thing on the door. It's like, oh crap. It was one of those signature required deals right through eBay or what have you. I always write in the notes on eBay, whether the seller ever looks at it or not, I always write in the notes signature not required because I never want that damn signature required thing. Because I'm not here most days. I'm here a couple days. I work in the office a few days. If it comes on a day where I'm in the office, I'm not here when the mail comes, and then obviously I can't sign for it. I think it's the dumbest thing in the world, the signature thing. Who's home when the mail comes, right? Unless you stay home every day. No one's home when the mail's here. It's the dumpiest thing. Of course we can't sign for it. So I always tend to worry about that. So I usually put a note whenever I buy something on eBay, like I said, signature not required. Whether they look at it or not, I don't know. And some sellers, I guess it's just what they do. I guess it's just it's just alerts to them. It makes it official that you got the item or what have you. But I hate the signature. I hate that. It's one of the things that drives me nuts. I know there's some there's some sellers like in Canada or something, and you have to do it. I know through Cool Hockey, I thought you did, but I found out you don't have to sign, which is good. But I think there was a seller I bought from on eBay from Canada, and I had to sign for the pack. And luckily, I was home that day, but I had to sign for the package. I'm like, damn it, I hate these signature required things. Anyhow, I'm rambling on too much. I'm gonna go. Hope you all had a wonderful Black Friday. Hope it was safe. Hopefully the lines weren't too crazy, and you got what you wanted. And the official start of the holiday season is here. So happy holidays to everyone, and I will see you on the next vid. Take care.